Hello, this is the first nail and it's called Nice or Bad Day. What we're talking about. So let's imagine you have a closure code with some imported functions called water and nice. They mainly came from the external library, so implemented in other namespaces, but it doesn't matter. Let's evaluate this expression and see what happens. What a nice day! And we can guess that nice is concatenate word nice before its argument, and water concatenate word water before its argument. And then behavior of thread last and thread first macroses. As usual, and nothing special and no surprises. But what if we evaluate this sThread macro? Oops, and we see what a bad day. That problem was not artificial. We found out it in our real project when we found out this issue. We had sometimes to recreate the problem and localize it, and found out the way what happens. But now I'd suggest you to stop the video and try to guess what happens, why it works this way. We have no such tricks as redefine thread first or thread last or sThread macros and so on and so forth. So all the regular closure core macroses. So for those of you who are interested in guessing yourself, let's stop a video and try to think, try to found out the reason, found out why it happens. Oops. And for others, let's continue. We can make some test calls. For example, let's call what returns only call nice on argument day. Let's go in below. Also it returns bad day. And then it's definitely, if we will wrap it in a let block, we bind variable x with a result of nice day, and then wrap it in a water. Here the same thing, what a bad day. And that explains why it behaves different. Because this thread first and thread last macroses macro expands in such type of expression, but sThread macro expands in a let block. Let me show you. If we'll macro expand sThread macro, it's just a sequential let rebindings, if I can call it this way. Let $sign day and $sign nice day, and returned value is water. But macro expansion of, for example, thread first macro is regular as expressions nested water nice day. But the reason of it, why it behaves different way, it comes from the nature of what and nice forms. Let me go to the top. Function nice, it's a regular function. It depends on current thread when it's evaluated. I created a very simple example when I created a function which gets current thread ID, and I have a global binding thread ID and gets current thread ID of current REPL process. And function nice, if it calls from the current thread, it returns bad, otherwise it returns nice. And water is actually not a function, it's actually a macro. And it creates a new thread via the future, and derives the result. So it evaluates all its body in a new separate thread. So if we wrap some expression in a water macro, it would be called all the entry of the form in a separate thread. That's why here call of function nice would be in a separate thread and it returns nice, but there call of function nice would be in current thread and it will return bad day. As I mentioned earlier, that was actually a real case we found out in our production project, and we spent some time to find out why it happens. But I think it's so funny, so I wanted to share you this point, this topic, and I hope you will enjoy. And maybe last question, do you still trust in your closure code at every places? So that was my first mail, and then see you tomorrow. Bye.